All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call haloyam Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, let's get into some news, man. We got some things going on. So as you see right here, coming from ABC News. All right, yeah, this is ABC, I think. Anyway, let's get into it, all right? The title of this article reads, Trump threatens Iran with major destruction. Woo! All right, as U.S. fleet arrives in Gulf. Yeah, so now the armada, quote unquote, that Trump has sent into the Middle East, now it's in the Persian Gulf, which is on the coast of Iran. All right, so the Lord is escalating things, man. All right, the Lord is putting it in the mind of Trump, all right, to send threats to Iran, talking about major destruction. All right, that time is winding down for a nuclear peace deal. All right, so we're getting ready to see what's about to come of this. All right, so let's read this article, man. All right, so as you see right here, they have a summary of the article. All right, it says, in short, it says U.S. President Donald Trump is urging Iran to strike a deal, warning that a U.S. Navy carrier strike group is poised to carry out attacks on the regime. All right, it is the latest warning issued by the U.S. president after Tehran cracked down on anti-government protests. The estimated death toll in Iran continues to grow, with estimates varying from 5,800 to 30,000 people killed. All right. So it says Donald Trump has threatened Iran with a major attack. All right. Right now, the Armada, all right, the USS Abraham Lincoln, all right, which is a carrier, all right, is chilling right there, man, in the Persian Gulf on the coast of Iran. All right, Donald Trump has threatened Iran with a major attack greater than what the U.S. inflicted on the Islamic regime just 6 months ago. Yeah, around, what was it? It was June or July, right, when they bombed the nuclear sites, right? It says, warning, time is running out. See how the Lord is just amping things up, man? This is all the Lord doing this, man. Bro, we've been out here prophesying, man, and telling you and warning you, man, that great war and hell and chaos is coming on this earth, man. Great war. That's all the prophets ever spoke about in the scriptures. And that's what the prophets of today in these last days are doing. The true prophets of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, who are the Israelites of Great Millstone and the ones that teach in like manner. All right. So let me read it from the top again. It says, Donald Trump has threatened Iran with a major attack greater than what the U.S. inflicted on the Islamic regime just 6 months ago, warning time is running out for its government to make a deal on the future of its nuclear ambitions. All right. The U.S. president said any strike by American forces will be far worse than its last round of attacks. All right. When stealth bombers flew a secret mission halfway around the world to target underground nuclear facilities during the 12-day Israel-Iran war in June. Yeah. All right. It follows weeks of speculation about whether the U.S. would attack Iran following a brutal and bloody crackdown against anti-regime protesters by Iranian security forces, all right, which it is feared has killed tens of thousands of people. All right, Mr. Trump had encouraged demonstrators to take the streets of the country and promised to protect them. All right, the latest rhetoric from the Oval Office coincides with the arrival of a U.S. Navy carrier strike group in the Middle East region. All right, something President Donald Trump described as a massive armada. All right, now this is a post from Donald Trump from his social media called Truth Social. Right, it's like a Twitter type social media. All right, well, it's known as X now, but this is what he said. It says a massive armada is heading to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. All right, you see how the Lord just amping things up, man? All right, it is a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln than that sent to Venezuela. All right, like with Venezuela, it is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence, all right, if necessary. Hopefully, Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal, no nuclear weapons, one that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. All right, as I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, a major destruction of Iran. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. All right. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. All right. So that's what he's talking about, man. All right. We're going to see what's getting ready to happen, man. Woo. All right. Things are popping off, man. As the prophets have warned you and have told you. You hear about wars and rumors of wars every single day. All right. And more bro, the whole world is at tension right now. Literally, the whole entire earth is at tension right now. NATO and the EU is breaking up to fulfill prophecy. So that's how, bro, every single nation is literally going to be against America, man. All right, Donald Trump, which is really from, he's getting order from the elites. He's turning all these nations against America, even his allies, the EU, all these you got France, all right, Denmark, and a couple other European nations ready to protect Greenland, right? Because Donald J. Trump wants to gain Greenland, It says, this is quote unquote, it says, it is a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln than that sent to Venezuela, he said on Truth Social platform. All right, like with Venezuela, it is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Hopefully, Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal. All right, no nuclear weapons, one that is good for all parties. All right, now you see this image right here is a mural. All right, I did a lesson on this the other day. All right, that's in the middle of in Iran. I forgot what the street corner, this whole little corner right here is called. All right, yeah, it's in Tehran. All right, showing the U.S. Abraham Lincoln being destroyed. All right, so it was like a warning mural. See, bro, things are really about to pop off, like for real, for real. All right, and we gonna see, if things pop off, we gonna see what Russia about to do, because Russia allies with Iran. What's going to pop off for real? And Russia, according to prophecy, all right, is going to be the main ones to destroy America. When you read, Isaiah 13, Jeremiah 50, it says he did not specify how quickly he wanted a deal from Tehran, but said time was truly of the essence. All right, so they're just re-quoting what he said in that tweet, right? In that post. All right, this is coming from Iran mission to UNNY. It says last time the U.S. blundered into wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. It squandered over 7 trillion and lost more than 7,000 American lives. All right, Iran stands ready for dialogue based on mutual respect and interest, but if pushed, it will defend itself and respond like never before. Woo! All right. And we know, according to prophecy, when you read Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, the scriptures say that the Carmanians, which is Iran, right? The Carmanians are going to come through like the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come. So Iran going to come with that power, bro. We know this according to prophecy. All right? And then it says it shall waste a portion. All right? It says, and they shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is talking about America, man. So Iran is going to have part in America's destruction in this third world war. Iran plays a major and great part in end time biblical prophecy in this third world war, in America's destruction. You know, in Babylon's destruction. All right. This is a post coming from Iran, man. All right. It says Iran stand. This is a response to what Donald Trump said. You see his tweet right here, right? It says Iran stands ready for dialogue based. Bro, we've been telling you, man. All right. Iran stands ready for dialogue based on mutual respect and interest, but if pushed, it will defend itself and respond like never before. They shall come like the wild boars in the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Woo! All right. It says, posting a screenshot on Mr. Trump's post, Tehran's mission to the United Nations wrote on X that the country was prepared for discussions but would defend itself if provoked. Iran stands, we just read that, all right? It says Iranian foreign minister Abbas Araghchi, all right, later posted that the country's brave armed forces are prepared, woo, all right, with their finger on the trigger to immediately and powerfully respond to any aggression. Woo! That goes hand in hand with the scriptures. I just quoted it. When you read Second Esdras, the 15th chapter. Matter of fact, I'll get it. I wasn't gonna get it because you know I'm always bringing that out anyway. You know. And look, we're ready right here. Look, Second Esdras 15. That's the spirit. You know, the Lord wanted me to bring it out. Let's get it. All right. All right. So let's just get right to the verse. All right. This is Second Esdras 15 and 30. It says also the Carmanian, because this is talking about World War III. All right. When you read from the 28th verse, all right, all the way down to the last verse is talking about World War III. All right. But I'll get straight to the point. All right. This is Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, the 38th verse. All right. I just started the no, matter of fact, my bad. I went a little too further down. All right. I'll just start at verse 28, but the point is in 30. It says, behold a horrible vision. All right. This is Second Esdras 15:28. Behold a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. So this is Esdras, the prophet Esdras. All right. He's seeing the vision of this third world war popping off and how it's going to play out. You know, Second Esdras 15:28. Behold a horrible vision, which is World War III. And the appearance thereof from the east, because it's going to travel from the east and make its way to the west. All right. It says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, which is talking about the Ishmaelites, all right, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, all right, and the multitude of them shall be carried away as the wind, because they're going to be destroyed, right? And the multitude of them shall be carried away, shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. All right. Also the Carmanians, all right, because we're talking about Iran, right? The Carmanians is Iran, the Iranians, all right. They're known as the Carmanians in this verse. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath. Woo! All right. Are we not reading how, that Iran is ready? All right, to respond powerfully, Like it says right here, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, all right, Araghchi, all right, later posted that the country's brave armed forces are prepared with their finger on the trigger to immediately and powerfully respond to any aggression. Woo! All right. You see? So that's why when we read right here, and according to prophecy, we know that because it's prophecy, man. The Lord said his word is faithful and true at the beginning of this chapter. All right. Second Ezra 15. All right. And 2, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, the Lord's word. That's how we got the Bible today, the scriptures today. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All right, the Lord's word. His words, man. All right, so when we read right here, all right, it says, also the Carmanians, which is the Iranians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, with Russia, right? And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, all right, which is America, all right. That's a dark saying for America. It's not talking about the actual land of Assyria, man. All right, the land of Assyria is talking about Babylon, aka America. So they're gonna waste a portion of this land. They're gonna shoot missiles over here, bro. All right, and have part of America's destruction. All right. So let's continue reading this article, because I got more articles, that go hand in hand with this. All right. So it says, he said that Iran has always welcomed a mutually beneficial, fair, and equitable nuclear deal. It says Iran attacked Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar in June in response to Mr. Trump sending American warplanes to bomb Iranian nuclear enrichment sites during the world war with Israel last year. Before Israel attacked on June 13th, the U.S. had been attempting to negotiate a deal with Iran to rein in its nuclear program in exchange for lifting sanctions. In 2015, then U.S. President Barack Obama brokered a deal with Iran for sanctions relief in exchange for curbs, all right, on its nuclear program, but Trump withdrew from the arrangement in 2018. All right, so I got other articles, right? So it says, threat of U.S.-Iran war escalates as Trump warned time is running out for deal. And we kind of read about that in the last article, right? But you have this is what Iran talking about, all right? Where did I have it? Matter of fact, I'll just get the other article. I'll just continue to the other article. All right, so it says threat of U.S.-Iran war escalates as Trump warns time running out for deal. All right, so things are escalating, man. All right, the Lord is escalating things. All right, he's the reason why Trump is doing what he's doing and thinking the way he's thinking. All right, making the whole world angry at him, the way he's just bullying things right now, man. The Lord is bringing his word, to pass, man. And the prophet's been warning you, and we're going to continue to warn you. All right, until the Lord pulls us off the streets, man. Clings our tongue to the roof of our mouths and shuts down this internet. All right. Threat of the U.S.-Iran war escalates as Trump warns time running out for deal. All right. The threat of war between the U.S. and Iran appeared to loom closer after Donald Trump told Tehran time was running out and that a huge U.S. armada was moving quickly toward the country with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. Purpose, man. All right, that it's their whole armadas in the Gulf War, in the Persian Gulf right now, man. You know, all right. So it says, we kind of went into some of this in the last article. All right, but I'll read it again. It says Trump said, hopefully Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal, no nuclear weapons, one that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. All right. It says, as I told Iran once before, make a deal. They did it, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, a major destruction of Iran. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. All right. It was the starkest indication yet from Trump that he intends to mount some kind of military strike imminently if Iran refuses to negotiate a deal on the future of its nuclear program. The post also reflects a remarkable shift in the White House's stated rationale for sending a carrier strike group to the region, moving away from outrage over the death of protesters to the fate of Tehran's nuclear program. All right, Trump urged Iranians to keep protesting earlier this month, telling them help is on the way. All right, but he later backtracked on the grounds that the killing has stopped. All right. There is speculation that he actually held back because he did not have enough military assets in the area. Gulf states had urged restraint, and Israel had counseled it needed more time to prepare for likely reprisals from Iran. All right, activist says more than 30,000 people were killed during the recent unrest. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told the Senate on Wednesday that thousands had been killed and said the Iranian government was probably weaker than it has ever been since the 1979 revolution. All right, Iranian missiles and drones could still pose a threat to U.S. personnel in the region, though, he added. All right, about 30,000 U.S. military personnel were within reach of an array of thousands of Iranian one-way UAVs and Iranian short-range ballistic missiles that threaten our troop presence. Rubio said, we have to have enough personnel in the region to defend against that possibility. All right, Trump would also maintain the preemptive defensive option of striking Iran if there were indications that it was planning an attack on U.S. troops. He said they certainly have the capability because they have amassed thousands and thousands of ballistic missiles that they've built. All right, so you see what's going on, man. All right, let me look up something real quick. Trump's armada in the Persian Gulf. All right. So this is news right now. All right. All right. The ships are in the Persian Gulf right now, man. All right. So it says look at all these articles, man. All right. Let me see what this is talking about real quick. Iran's neighbors on edge as U.S. Armada arrives in the Middle East. Coming from the Hill. This is what? Today's the 28th, right? This is January 28th, 2026. All right. Iran's neighbors are on edge over the possibility that Trump will pull the trigger on strikes against Iran as Tehran and its allies have promised to forcibly retaliate against the U.S. Woo! All right. Against U.S. positions. All right. Many of which are located inside the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Regional powers, including the UAE, have reiterated that their airspace, territory, and waters will not be permitted for use if military action against Iran take place. Woo! All right, so you, like I said, bro, you got Iran's allies, bro. Ready to back. Come on, man. War is about to pop off, man. For real, for real. All right. It says, but the arrival of the USS Abraham Lincoln and its accompanying destroyer in the U.S. Central Command area would allow Washington to go it alone should Trump make good on his pledge to punish Tehran for its brutal crackdown against anti-regime protesters. All right. Trump has not taken diplomacy off the table, leaving channels open to negotiate over Iran's nuclear program and ballistic missile stockpiles. All right. But with no indication of an agreement in sight, security experts see the likelihood of U.S. strikes on Iran increasing. And we've seen it increasing right now. All right. They're in the Persian Gulf right now. All right. It says Gregory Brew, an analyst, all right, an expert on Iran with the Eurasia Group, said all Gulf states are very conscious of the Iranian counter threat and are therefore trying to hedge against that retaliation. They're not stepping in to prevent U.S. action. They're not getting in the way, but they're signaling to Tehran that they won't have a role. All right. Bruce said in an interview with The Hill on Tuesday. All right, similar to the UAE, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman told Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian, all right, during a call on Tuesday that the kingdom will not allow its airspace or land to be utilized in potential action against Iran. Woo! All right, there are more than 2,300 U.S. service members stationed in Saudi Arabia. This is an effort by regional states to manage their relationship with Tehran, while also remaining on good terms with the United States by essentially signaling, all right, in both directions, where we are not taking sides. We are not taking a side in this, all right? So you see what's going on, man. All right, it says right here, Michael Rubin, a former Pentagon official and currently a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, said Iran's neighbors are particularly concerned about their long-range ballistic missiles and are, quote-unquote, afraid that Washington won't finish the job. All right? So you see what's going on, man. You see what's happening. All right? You could read these articles for yourself, man. All right? If any brothers may be watching, you could do, take these articles and do your own lesson, report on it. All right. Trump warns Iran time. This is another, coming from BBC also. All right. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah. This lesson is and was edifying. All right, call Halalyum Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. All right, so just letting you know what's going on, what's popping. We're watching, man, warning you. All right, letting you know that prophecy is coming to pass, man. Things, bro, the time is nigh. All right, what did Paul say in the book of Romans? All right, the 13th chapter. All right, for it is high time to awake out of sleep. All right, for our salvation is nearer than we believe. Woo! All right. So with that being said, on to the next one. Shalom, shalom.